Hey all, it's me, Laura B, at Craft and See with Laura B, and I'm here this morning to do a intro for my next project, which is for Nathalie at LineDotArrow's Books and Botanicals kit, 27 pages of yumminess. I am a guest design team member. Yay, thank you, Nathalie, thank you. And what I did is kind of backwards. I printed it all out and I meant to film it, but last night I was like, oh, let me get a start and, rough cut all the fuzz cuts out. So, unfortunately, I only have the background pages as whole pages, and I will be splicing this video. I'm doing this so that I can start getting ready for the actual journal. Here is the cover page, which I use lots of this. How are you this morning? I'm doing okay. It's 6:50. I'm itching to get started. I love this page. She had said in her launch video that this is her favorite page, and I have to agree. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yep, mine too. Don't have to go any further. Can't imagine what I would like better than that page. Cute little girl saying, no, I'm not going to leave the library. No, I'm not going to leave the library, and you can't make me. I like this page too. I wonder why. For those of you who don't know, red is my favorite color. Oh, I'm sorry, I have that fan on. Hang on. There we go. I apologize, I forgot that it was on. I'm trying to get this room as cool as possible. Not that we're having record level heat, not like anywhere else, but, I don't like heat, as I've told y'all. I like this one too. So, sometime tomorrow, maybe today, but there's two parts to this. One part is I have to make another roosting box, which I will do tomorrow. I just have to get the 2x2 bar and then cut the ends and all that stuff, and then screw it in there. Another thing is I want to gather my chickens one by one and clip their wings. No, it does not hurt them. It just, you cut a few, just enough so they can't fly. Yes, chickens can fly, if you did not know. Not very far, but they can. And I don't want them flying over in the neighbor's backyard where they have dogs. So I need to get that done, especially with new babies. And then I want to take, I was asking on one of my chicken groups how to know who's laying what egg, and and if they've laid, so I know how to make sure if they've laid. I know if they're laying, I know how to check for that with my new babies, and how to use food coloring to detect who lays what. You just have to make sure you use different food coloring and remember who you applied it to. Anyway, I like this one too. So those are my projects. One will begin tomorrow, and the other one will begin whenever I can con somebody into getting out here and helping me wrangle chickens. I really like that one. Okay, here are the parts that I shouldn't have cut apart. I wasn't going to at first because I was going to show them all to you. See, like I didn't do them on all. That's what that looked like. We've got pockets and writing spots and tags. Tag. Writing spot. Tag. Writing spot. Pocket. Boo. Boo. Another envelope. I might try to do that cool thing I did in today's video or Wednesday's video. There. And here are all the smaller pieces. There we go. Okay, so this is it for right now, and I will see you after a bit when I'm ready to get everything cut and start putting together our journal. So I'll talk to you in a bit. Thanks, guys. Okay, I'm back. What did I do while I was away? Well, I shall tell you. I went ahead and cut my papers, cut out what I wanted, and assembled them onto the paper bag journal that I will be making. What I did is I'll just take all of these off. I'll take all of this out. There's the inside cover. There's the signature. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. All right. All I did was take 2 pharmacy bags. This is what they look like. I folded in the ends. So it looks like this, only smaller. I took 2 of them. And I took the seam side, as you can see, on one, right there, and folded it how I wanted it, and glued it on there. And then, because I had a little error in my, I had to finagle it just a little bit, because what I want is this part that I cut off here, like this. I want it to enclose the whole thing. So this will be glued back here. You look at it like this, you'll open it. This is where the signature will go, and it's the strengthening the spine. Then we'll have a flip, which conveniently will be a pocket. And then I'm going to keep this pocket, and I'm going to insert this in here, but glue it to the back edge so we'll have a pocket there. So it's actually going to be quite a large journal. I won't fill it all the way up because I'm bound and determined not to. There. And I'm going to flip it over because I marked on both sides. Well, both sides are marked. However, I do want to glue this so that it doesn't, I don't want the pocket on the enclosure. So let me do that real quickly. I didn't want to do any of this without showing you what I did. And I have to mark it. There's the back, there's the front, because it gets confusing. It's confusing. And why did I choose this way as opposed to that way? There's a reason I did it like that. And there may not have been one. I might have figured it out. Make sure I'm still recording. Okay. Getting closer to my new camera arm from the Amazon, so I don't always have to worry about this. Let off the glue. You know, excuse my stomach. I did not want to have to take this all the way out of there. But these paper bags, they sure don't want to really do what you want them to do. I kind of had this idea last night when I was perusing all of through my saved playlist for junk journals, and I wanted something, don't do that, that was easy, fairly easy and quick. Fairly easy and quick, and if I can get this off without pulling the whole thing down, that would be a bonus. There we go. My pastry ruler that doesn't see as much use. Not even going to worry about gluing those down. Ooh, and of course, turn the camera on. Hot flash. You'd think I was under the studio lights. Alrighty. So front cover. And this will go around like so. Yes, I am having a hot flash, and I'm trying not to turn on the fan, but used to not get them to the point my face turned red, but those days are long gone now. So there they are. And I might have to go back and remeasure where I put my, I don't want to, I'm having a hard time forming words as all the blood rushes to my skin. I don't want it to be too tight, because once we put papers in there and I stuff them, I still want it to be able to close with a good amount of space. So it's not all like, oh my gosh, I'm fat, I can't close. And it's a junk journal I made out of paper bags, and they're never perfect. While we're here, let me flip through my signature. This old Italian from Mitzi. Some coffee dyed paper that I made. It's kind of crinkly and it's thicker. Tracing paper that I just folded to fit. This is a car repair manual that's about like, okay, for you guys it's about like yay thick. And it's like 1956 to 1962. It covers Buicks, Dodge, Cadillac, all that kind of stuff. And there goes my stomach. This is another one from Mitzi. I'm not quite sure what this book actually is, but it's nice and old. This is from my 1936 book that was actually written by a real live pilot. Of course, he's probably not alive now, but real live pilot from World War II. More of my own coffee dyed paper. I have not, so for a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I thought I had another one, but we'll see. Apparently that was all I did. I don't want to, again, I'm trying not to overload, because we're going to have pockets to fill. No pocket here, no pocket today in the morning. And then we'll flip. I'll have something here. Here's another pocket. I need to glue this, and I will be gluing this shut now so it will stay down. I got quiet because I heard something. I'm always listening for those chickens, you know, just in case I hear something that I'm not supposed to be hearing. I definitely don't want it. And like I said, I did not glue any of this part because I wanted you to see what I was doing before I did it. Just trying to glue in there without getting glue everywhere else in there, like I just did, because I definitely don't want this gluing shut. Like I accidentally glued that whole thing and then realized, wait a minute, that's not how it's supposed to look. And since I only had 2 of these particular bags and I really, really wanted to use them, I kind of did a mini prototype in my head more than I, like usually we would go and do this ahead of time. Actually, I think I might just leave that roll there. I'm going to fold, lightly fold where I want the pocket to end. There we go. I have an idea where to go. Anyway, I wanted you to see this. Probably all we will have time to do today is getting the cover established. And maybe not this, I don't know. I have not measured for it because again, I did not know how I wanted it to go in or how much I was going to need. Anyway, how are you doing today? I'm recording this on Wednesday, my Pride and Prejudice. Beginning of that one went up today. I hope you've watched it. By the time you see this, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to have this up tomorrow, Thursday, and then have my Ode to Janie B up on Friday. I know. What am I doing? Oh, wow. 5 videos in 1 week. Say it ain't so. Oh my gosh, who are you and what did you do with Laura? I don't know. We don't know yet. So this will come and I'll have just a little bit of a pocket for some of her stuff. And I haven't backed any of these. I'm still working on the challenge. There we go. So we'll have just a little tuck spot. While I have you here, let me do some bookkeeping. Let me get to the good stuff. All right. So the first week, this is brought to you, I told you in the first, when I went through the papers, Nathalie from LineDotArrow. It's for her Books and Botanicals launch, 27 pages of wonderful yumminess. And this first week in her LineDotArrow Facebook group, the first week's challenge is to create a book page journal card, which I actually did right here last night. And then I realized, oh wait, she probably wants us to use, you know, like our own book pages, because the freebies that came with it, there we go. I did not cut those apart, are right here. And that might not be acceptable. And so I kind of scrapped it. Excuse me. Tummy. And so I, like I said, set it aside. I really like it. This is actually from the, well, Great Book of Dragon Patterns. And I backed it with my blue. You can still see some of the printing, and this is just the title on the bottom of the page. So like I said, I scrapped it because I wasn't sure if that was allowed. So you're supposed to create a book page journal card and a tag and a text spot. So I was planning on doing it all with one, and actually, if it's acceptable, it almost fits right in there. Let's see if it'll fit in here. Maybe not. It might be too wide. Yeah, it's just a little too wide to close. And when I sew in the signature or however, it will close this pocket. Oh, it is closed. It's the bottom of the bag. I felt like it went in further than it should have. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. Come on. Yeah, it's just a little too wide, and I'm not cutting it down because, as you see, it's just right there. And I did the corners, and you can't fix those corners. Anyway, let us get started on this front. Oh. Her LineDotArrow Facebook group is facebook.com//LineDotArrow/. Obviously with this stuff in front of it, but I think most people know that. And if you just, my luck has been if you just type in the main part of it, it will pull it up. Anyway. And where'd they go? Which way did they go? I decided not to do that. This is for here. That is for there. I do tend to write on them. I didn't write on, yeah, flip back. So this says inside back, which is right here. Flip back, inside cover, front cover, and I just have to find my others right here. And this is the flip cover, so that one will go there. And this is the backpack. So let's just get started, shall we? And one of the things that I've said that I dislike about the allergy itchies. It's like I took allergy medicine and I did not. One thing about allergy medicine and cold medicine, it makes my head itch like I have fleas. But I've been spending a lot more time out in the sun, so. Oh, I was like, what is my dog licking at? I forgot she has her toy bone in here. One of those Kong ones, like the most durable level you can get on Kong. And my inner 12-year-old will not allow me to name it. Call it by its name. And so I stuffed it with some treats yesterday for her. She doesn't get them all the time. And I could have inked, but I'm so out of the habit of inking for the most part. I just don't want to take the time. That's what my issue is. I really just don't want to take the time. Because it does take a lot of time inking all the pages. And it is going to bother me because the paper bags aren't straight, but I'm going to get over this issue of mine. Or at least attempt to. You know, I'm not looking for any miracles. I can't imagine it will ever happen, but I'm trying. I highly recommend if you have one of these that you don't use for baking, because I don't make pastry or pies or anything like that. I mean, who am I going to make them for? I don't eat sugar anymore. Unbelievably. I have not had what I call sugar. And when I say sugar, I mean adding sugar sweet tea, like with real sugar. Or desserts or any of that for now over a year. And I cannot believe it has been that long. Seriously, cannot believe. I mean, I'm one of those, let me have the corner piece of cake with all the roses on it and everybody else's. If nobody else wants their frosting, I'll eat it. Hot fudge sundaes with lots of hot fudge and maybe some caramel and some whipped cream. And yeah, I mean, oh, that's why I weighed so much. So to go from that to nothing is just short of a miracle, if you ask me. Called determination. So like Mitzi has talked about on her channel on 307 Junk Journals about how she does carnivore, and I tend to do ketovore as I play fast and loose with the rules. You have to make any way of eating work for you. And if it's just not sustainable, well then obviously you're not going to stick to it. Inside back, cover, inside cover. I got them all mixed up. And that's how I just, you know, I have sauces that technically aren't allowed. And, you know, things that aren't allowed. I have a bunch of blackberry bushes. And so I had a handful of blackberries yesterday as I was checking for ripeness. I have a friend, Jen, who's not watching, but hi, Jen, who does a lot of baking, has been making pies, and I told her, you need to come over in the next week or so and start picking these blackberries. The ones out front are not as big as the ones across, you know, that you have to reach across the fence into the thicket to get. And sorry if people think my gluing Using the glue stick is a bit aggressive. I'm really not being aggressive. It's just how I roll. You don't like it, turn the sound down. Ha ha ha. And you know who you are. Yes, you do. You know who you are. Make sure I'm in frame and I'm still recording. Yes. Yes to both. Oh, what song do I have stuck in my head? You know, I've said that I wake up singing a song 9.9 times out of 10. This morning, Streets of Bakersfield. Why that? Now, I like Dwight Yoakam. I don't like Twain, but I like Dwight Yoakam. Yeah, Streets of Bakersfield. And there's not much to the song. You know, it does a lot of repeating. I actually looked up the lyrics today. You know, because when you sing along with songs, you don't always listen to what you're singing. You're just singing. Don't contemplate it any further. And I was like, what are the lyrics to this? Because honestly, it sounds like he's a homeless person. He's talking about being homeless. And it's not that at all. And I didn't realize that it was a... Buck Owens recorded it back in 1972. I knew he sang with Dwight. I just didn't realize it was. Okay, cover, flip cover. There we are. Just double checking my placement. Anyway, yeah, Streets of Bakersfield. Again, why that song, I do not know. Anybody else have that happen? You just wake up singing, or you get this one song stuck in your head. I know Candace was the other day when I was watching her videos from, I think it was last week, and she couldn't get this song out, but I never remembered or heard what song it was. I've heard the best way to get rid of an earworm is to pass it on to somebody else, but that has not been my luck. Once it's in there, it's in there. This is my last glue stick, y'all. I'm going to end up having to go to the $1.25 store. I put this once again on Subscribe and Save. You come 4 in a box. But that was the same when I was having problems with, and so was Mitzi, about they sent the Scotch Permanent, which I don't mind. I do find it odd, and I don't, you know, just how different creators prefer different glues. Is that? Well, it's good enough. It's a little bit crooked there. I can fix that in post. I'll fix that in post. Because it did go on there a little bit cockeyed, and it's too late to fix it. So, oh well. That's what I tell myself. Oh well, right? I know some of you understand what I'm talking about. Some of you are just like, you immediately embrace the wonky and you're fine with it. And then there are those of us who really struggle. Flip it. It's a struggle. It goes like this. So the last thing I want to do is glue it on upside down. Because I don't want to have to walk the streets of Bakersfield. That's for sure. Sometimes I just do this straight on my glass thing. I'm also buying a rehealing cut mat. You know, mat. That's bigger than 8x6. Or 8x8, whatever that size is. Because that just isn't long enough, you know? And then I won't be using this glass mat except for things that you don't want to ruin. you're cutting that with. I'm trying to remember what I used before I got this glass mat. I've had it for a while. Don't want folks thinking that I'm Steve. My hands, my gluey hands. Boy, she's cleaning her feet and being so quiet about it. You know, with her ginormous tongue, you know, it's not normally so quiet. There's some glue there I want to try to get off. I mean, there's glue on all of them. Some colors are take to the glue eraser better than others. Some papers I've noticed that I've printed out. There. And with this dark, it's kind of hard to tell where it is, and it's starting to lift some of the color, so I'm going to leave it. Like I said, I've had good luck with this, and then there are some, I don't know if it's the saturation, where it just doesn't work very well. All right, we did that. We are on to this. Might could go ahead and just sew this thing in here, the signature in, because I don't plan on monkeying with it that much. Got a lot of projects going on. Although I have all month, still. Oh, look. I must have glued it at some point. I need to cut those off of there. What are y'all working on? I ask this all the time. Also, how's the weather in your neck of the woods? It's supposed to be in mid-80s. You know, I don't live in the big town of Seattle. And what they report on the weather, what they always list, is from SeaTac, the airport. It's not. But I think they said like 82, which means it'll be a good 86 down here. And I tend to go, like I said, with what Beauregard in my weather station sensor guy outside. Yes, I named pretty much everything. He's Beauregard, and the actual station that's in my bedroom is Hildegard. Got a match. Don't know why I came up with those names, but I just did. Like I've said before, I named my iPad Beulah. Beulah Ball Bricker. For those of you who know it, you know it. My laptop is called Big Bertha. My Keurig is named Colin, not Colin, Gerard Butler. That's his name. He's my AM boyfriend. That's what I say. He's my AM boyfriend. He makes good coffee. That's exactly what he should do. So Gerard, if you're listening, which you're not, if you're watching, I named my Keurig after you. Because you belong in the kitchen making me breakfast. That's what you're good for. Ha, ha, ha. For most of you, I'm sure you figured out I've got a pretty irreverent, sarcastic sense of humor. I actually refer to it as Edgar Allan Poe meets the Far Side. Plus, I was a nurse, so I'm pretty irreverent anyway. Or it fit in just nicely. I read this thing on Facebook. One of the ladies that I follow, this author that I follow, and she's like, said something about, may life treat you as you treat animals. And I said, or may people May animals treat you like you treat people. There's one. I thought it was pretty funny. You know, so. Huh. I didn't even look at what time I started filming. And I have to remember that tomorrow's is going to be synced too, and it may be badly synced. Which tomorrow, I mean Friday. Friday's video. If you're seeing this on Thursday, then it is tomorrow. Just because I was having all sorts of issues. My battery was low, and it was telling me, you know, it comes up on the screen to close or to go on power saving mode. And I couldn't do anything because, I'm gonna start from this side. Because I couldn't reach to get that message off. So I couldn't stop or anything. And so the camera's going all over the place. It looked like I'm filming a... This one's just not working so well for me. Let's go over here. Yeah, like I was filming a GoPro video, you know, found film footage. Ugh. I don't like gluey fingers. Oh well, this is what I get for using a paper bag, right? I'm hoping, what do I have to do today? I'm not doing much outside. I do need to mix up some more fish food fertilizer and go at some of my plants. I've got squash plants. I've got 2 acorn and 3 crookneck, and I've only got like two crooknecks growing. I've got several flowers on all of them, but for whatever reason, I've only got 2 actual squashes. Squash? Squashy? Just playing. But, and like I said, lots of flowers. And one of the crookneck, it grew to a certain point and it's just kind of stagnating, and that kind of worries me. Last year, or the year before when I tried planting, I used a different container, and they would grow and they would look beautiful, and then they would rot from the end. And my neighbor Michelle said it was blossom end rot, and they, you know, needed whatever, and I am not a gardener. So when you start saying, oh, it needs this calcium and you need to put this in it, my eyes glaze over and I'm like, huh? I'm kind of just, again, folding that against there so I have some kind of room to fold up. Give me some room. And where's my ruler? Where's the ruler? I'm gonna go right here. Maybe here. So just under 3. 3 1/4. Just under 3 1/4. Oh, who am I kidding? Just do this. Let's really crease this well so I can see it. I'll worry about this strip later. This way. Like I said, didn't have this mapped out because I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do. I need to get an Allen wrench out and tighten that arm up. Well, it's pretty much right at 3 1/4. Look at that. Just a little under. Trying to get it even to satisfy my even issue. And no, the two little girls aren't going to be looking at each other, because one will be on the front. And I'm not folding these up to make pockets. I have plenty. That maybe I'll start doing mass makes. Although, you know, random and me, hard to do. I can come to a random conclusion, but I can't quite decorate randomly. It takes quite a while for me to check out of my head. Once I do, I'm good until something happens where I check back in. Okay, there's that one. And we'll do this inside one. Don't want folks thinking that. So again, this is Books and Botanicals by Nathalie at LineDotArrow. If you would like to participate in the challenges, just make sure you're a member of her Facebook group, which is very simple. It's LineDotArrow Junk Journals. LineDotArrow is one word. There it is, duh. Can't see. There it is. I look for the shiny. Look for the shiny. Where'd the shiny go? There it is. And I really do need to tighten this up before it decides to keep falling. I've done that before. Where it just falls. Checking placement. Looks good. That's the one thing about when you film multiple times, especially if you're going to film in one day, which I don't think I've ever managed to do more than one video in one day. You lose track of what you've said, what you haven't said. Am I repeating myself? I feel like I'm repeating myself. I told you everything I wanted to tell you. Now what do I say? That kind of thing. I'm telling you, it is not as easy as it looked when I was watching them before I started this channel. So kudos to all of us out there. You have a channel. Successful channel, and you know, these that have thousands of subscribers. I'm sitting at 187, and thank you so much to those lovely ladies that chose to follow me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so this is what it's going to look like without this. This will go in here where it's got a reinforced spine, and I have to make sure I glue that really well. I might choose to sew just this side, sew around the pockets. I don't know yet, and until I decide, I'm not going to sew in the signatures. That way it will make sure it sticks down. And sometimes these, I've noticed these bags, they don't really like to stick as much or stick as well. Whatever coating they have on it doesn't really feel waxy, but there obviously is something. Okay, I will leave this flat, and here comes another hot flash. Hot flashing away. Flashing away. All right, take the signature out. I'm going to leave that flat. And again, this is my project for Nathalie at LineDotArrow's Books and Botanicals. I've told you all about the challenge for this first week. I will definitely have everything linked in the description box, so please take a look. And I'd love to see you guys join in on the challenges, and we can encourage each other on and watch what each other are doing, even if it's just posting a video or pictures. You don't have to make a video. You don't have to have a YouTube channel. Just come along and join the fun. There's lots and lots of challenges going on that group anyway. What else did I want to say? I think that is it. And so I will leave you for today. And as always, like, subscribe, comment, even if it's just a little smiley face. That goes a long way to getting my channel noticed. Share with your friends. And until the next time I see you, adieu and peace out. Bye, guys.